I needed something to motivate you to love people and do good works, because we will have an inviting culture. See, there we go. There we go. All right, here's what it is. Point-based system that I'm going to spend the next several minutes explaining in detail. Whichever small group at the end of these 15 weeks wins this competition, I'm going to buy every single person in that small group a brand new pair of shoes up to a $200 value. Every single person. I'm going to make it rain sneakers, okay? Every single person. I told you. I should have led with that. All right? How's that sound? That sound like a good prize? Something to keep you guys motivated? How many of you guys are ready to love people and do some good works in our community, right? You're like, oh, now let's talk. Come on, preach on, preacher. I've never heard you so loud in my life. Shame on you. All right, so here's what we're going to call it. It's really cheesy, I know, but it's going to stick and you're going to remember it. We're calling this project Souls for Souls. Souls for Souls. I am not above paying you with shoes to reach people for Jesus. I am not above that, okay? I will pay you to reach people. And you're like, that's like manipulative, that's abusive. Get out of here, man. Like, people will pay millions of dollars to convince you that you need to eat a Dorito taco. Millions of dollars to eat garbage. They pay millions of dollars to get in the psyche of your impressionable minds. I am more than okay paying people with shoes if that's what it's going to take to reach people for Jesus, all right? Souls for Souls. Here's the goal, okay? Here's the goal. Actually, let me start with this. Small group based, so how many of you guys think your small group's going to win this thing? Which small group's going to take home this prize, all right? Here's the deal, man. I'm telling you, some people are still excited. People are ready to go, okay? And so this is going to be small group based. You're going to need to jump in. Here is the goal, okay? So don't get too excited because we ain't anywhere near close to that tonight, okay? Here's the goal. It's based on attendance, okay? Our goal, there's 15 weeks. Small group nights don't count, so we're down to 12 weeks. We have 12 opportunities to reach a total attendance of 275 people or more 3 times. 3 times, okay? 275. To put it in perspective, you're like, dude, it looks like 400 people in the room right now. Not even close. All right, on small group nights in the past year, we averaged about 250 people. As a whole, if you take small group nights and all of the other nights and all the special events and everything we did in the 2018-2019 school year, we averaged 200.5 people per night. Okay, so that means on average, we need to reach more than 75 more people on average. And it's been, can we just call a spade a spade? It's been much lower than that this summer. That's why I got to say things like welcome home, thank you, Jesus, welcome back, okay? Because we've missed you guys. Because I'm telling you, for so many reasons. One, even as the church, things are just more exciting when more people are around. Right? Like, things are just more exciting when more people are in the house. We talked about this a lot. If we want to have an inviting culture, it is more exciting knowing that there is a ton of people in the room that have the potential to get their life radically turned upside down on any given Wednesday night. There's this anticipation that happens. We talked about this, the 4 core cultures. That's a potentially we. It's not by default everyone. It's if you're in this, if you embody the vision and the values, you're in this. You're a part of the we. If not, you're not we. You're you. You're the cancer. We're the body. You got to choose which one you want to be in, okay? But for the we in the house, all that petty stuff goes to the side. All that like, I don't know people. So what? You brought your friends. I don't care. Bring your whole sports team. Bring your neighborhood. Bring your workplace. I don't care. And here's the deal before I get any further, because I will probably forget to say this later. This is going to absolutely destroy everything we're currently doing, okay? It is going to mess up all of our systems, all of our small groups, put stress on all the small group leaders, but we are ready to handle it. So for the praying people in the house, we need to pray for a lot of things. One of them is we need to pray for more leaders, because the only thing that has held us back Every time we've launched a new small group, it has immediately grown in size. So the only thing holding us back from sustained growth is more small group leaders. And so, like I said, the ones we got top shelf leaders. I am telling you, we have top shelf leaders. There's some people where I'm like, you should go serve somewhere down the road. But the ones that are in this house are amazing. They care about you. They're passionate. They're hardworking. They go the extra mile. They are pumped up about this. 275 on average, at least 3 times we got to hit that benchmark, okay? You guys think that's attainable? Like for real, for real? You guys think we can do this? Here's basically what that means. I only need half of you to get this, right? I only need half of you to get this. If you're not I'm okay with that. We will replace you. I have no problem with that. If you've been causing problems, causing drama, causing unnecessary issues, making other people feel unwelcome, I got no problems with that. There's plenty of shallow places to go and call it a church, okay? We're going to do things right. We're going to do things passionately. We are going to turn the world upside down this school year, and I only need half of you to come along with me, okay? So 275, 3 times, non-small group nights. That's the goal for Souls for Souls. Cheesy, but it's already stuck in your head. Here's what's going to happen. So let me kind of break down the details, all right? Go ahead and put that next slide up. I'll read it, get out of the way so you guys can take a picture of it. Go ahead and put the next one up. I think it starts with, there we go. Thank you. Every person that attends a Wednesday night service between September 4th and December 18th will be awarded a point value. The points will be added up every week, and at the end, the small group with the most or highest points per capita, let me pause right there, points per capita will win this competition. So, for instance, if you have a small group with 10 people, we're taking this based on last year's average for your small group for the entire year. We're going to start with your last year's average, and we're going to add it up. So if you had a small group of 10, we're going to add up all the points you accumulate over those 15 weeks and divide by 10, giving you a points per person average. Make sense? It's like in sports, you get your points per game. It's not just all your points accumulated, it's your points per game. So if you had 10 people, we're going to divide by 10. If you have a group of 30, we're going to add up all your points and divide by 30. That way it is even playing field no matter what size your group started with. Everyone's on the same playing field, and any group, I promise you, any group can win this competition, okay? Highest points per capita wins. Next slide. The point value is scaled to focus on 3 objectives, okay? Here's why we're doing it this way, okay? And I'm going to explain the point system in a minute. 3 things that we want to accomplish. So again, I see some phones. Thank you, guys. You're going to want to know this stuff, because if you're serious about this, you want to know the rules to win the game, all right? How many, board games, your rule followers, okay? This is your time. Take out your phone. Take out pictures. Here's our objectives, all right? We want to reach a ton of first-time guests, all right, unashamedly. We want to get a bunch of jacked up, messed up, need Jesus types of people, okay? So in case you haven't heard me clarify it, I do not want kids from other youth groups, okay? That is church transfer, and the kingdom gets no bigger, all right? I want to be a little bit nervous about the type of people y'all are bringing into this house, okay? If you happen to be here and you're a church transfer, whatever, okay? Welcome, you're always welcome. It's whatever, okay? I like that, you're more than welcome. It's nothing against you guys, but I want to reach people who need Jesus, okay? We want to reach the goal, the objective is to have a lot of guests return and become regulars, okay? And I'm going to explain how exactly we're defining that, going from guest to regular. But we don't want them to just come one time, all right? And here's why I have no apologies about doing this project. Because I believe with all my heart, if I didn't believe in the product, if I was a salesman and didn't believe in the product, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. But because I believe in this message and what it can do, I have no problem using money to incentivize you. Because I believe if you can get one of your jacked up friends to come 5 times to a place like this, God's going to get a hold of their heart. And they're going to have no problems that they were a trophy at the end of the day. And here's also why. Because they get the shoes too. Let's not overcomplicate this. Hey, bro, you want new shoes? Come with me, right? You play on a sports team. Hey, man, y'all want new shoes? Come with me. No problem with that. You want to be the weirdo at the mall? Anyone want free shoes? Come with me. No problems with that, okay? I have no problems with any of this. 5%, dear Jesus, on the battery. All right. And here's the other thing, is we want to motivate regulars to attend regularly, All right, we want to, those that you guys call this place home, we want to motivate you to show up on a consistent basis. All right, those are your objectives. Reach a lot of first-time people, make those first-time guests become regulars, and motivate regulars to attend more often. Next slide. Here's how the points break down, okay? Every first-time guest that comes through this place is going to get 2,000 points. Ooh, you have no idea what that means, right? That's fine. 2,000 points, okay? If that person comes back a second time, they're worth 3,000 points. If that same person comes back a third time, they're worth, that's right, 4,000 points, all right? And if after they come in a fourth time, that same person comes back a fourth time, they're worth 5,000 points. It's only one off, but it confuses me every time I've rehearsed that. And then every single regular, every time you check in, you get 1,000 points, okay? So let me kind of make sense of that, all right? You reach one person, and that one person becomes a regular, which means they have to attend 5 times. They're going to be worth how many? Who's good at math? 1,000 plus 2,000, that's 3,000, plus 3,000, 6,000, plus 4,000, 10,000, plus 5,000, 15,000 points, all right? You bring a friend, they come and they become a regular. They come 5 times, they're worth 15,000 points. You would need to bring 8 people one time to match that one person coming 5 times. Does that all make sense so far? So that's why I'm saying it's not just about butts and seats visitors who have no intention on ever coming back, okay? This is about people getting all the way connected and plugged into the life and the family of the Capitol, all right? And so that's why it's scaled to where the more you come, until you become a regular, the more valuable exponentially that person becomes. And then everyone, for checking in, gets 1,000 points. So all the busters in the house, they're like, I'm not checking in no matter what you say. Fine, I don't care. You ain't getting free shoes, all right? That's going to go to someone else. So here's where that positive peer pressure, where we get to become family. Like if you're dead set on winning this thing and you see people punking out and trying to skip lines and not check in or not caring, you need to get on them. Be like, don't blow this for me, all right? I want a special event and I want some free shoes. Some of you guys, you're broke. You never had a nice pair of shoes in your life. We're about to hook you up. Some of you guys are richer than can be and you're ashamed of how rich you are. We're going to add to the shoe collection. Do not care, all right? I am going to incentivize you. I'm going to motivate us to love people and do good works. And we're going to not neglect meeting together like a lot of people do. We're going to be the church. All right, the fine print. You guys ready for the fine print? Because if you're like me, I want to break games. I want to find loopholes, and I will do whatever it takes, just short of sin, to win a game, all right? I will be competitive in bingo. Any just competitive people, all right? Competitive people. I like to see it. All right, some of you guys are like, I don't know, but I really want free shoes, so I will be competitive. All right, here's the fine print. To be eligible. Aha. You're like, oh yeah, I haven't been in like 6 months. This is dope. I'm going to come to small group nights. It's going to be great. Get some free shoes. If you're a regular is going to be anyone in the system before that September 4th date. You're going to be, so even if you've only been one time, you're going to be grandfathered in. Welcome to the family. You're a regular. Let's go. Free shoes. Come on with it. All right. Any regulars, you got to attend 10 or more times, 10 out of 15, to be eligible for the shoes. All right. You're like, that's kind of high. Yes, it is. Because I'm going to motivate you to love people and do good works and not neglect meeting with one another like some people do. This is straight from God. We're not supposed to neglect meeting from one another. So that whole time of like, I'm tired. If you want free shoes, you got to be here. But I got homework. It'll still be there when you're there. I promise. Like, but this, but that, but Netflix. Like, I don't care. That's fine. You're not getting free shoes, right? The people that want free shoes are going to get ahead of life. And let this be a life lesson. Those who work hard get ahead. Like sometimes effort equals life quality. I'm telling you. So if you're lazy and waiting for a handout in life, this is a good chance to get off of that path and onto a better path. This is a chance where there is literally a carrot in the form of shoes dangling before your eyes. And if you put the effort in, you can win them. I promise. Any single group can win, all right? 10 or more times to be eligible. Guests must attend 5 or more times to be eligible for the shoes, all right? So again, one and done, they will count towards the points. that's fine, but if they want the shoes, so again, hear me loud and clear, I'm not incentivizing you to just convince anyone off the streets to come one time, not care, keep the headphones in, and walk out the doors. They got to come 5 times if they want the free pair of shoes. All right, and you're like, but what if I don't convince them to come till December? The fine print, all right? Say they come on December 18th on that very last small group night. That means I'm going to give them until January 31st of 2020 to complete those 4 times. So if you tried all fall and they finally come on December 18th and they hear us say, you got to be 5 times, they're like, that sucks so bad. Why didn't I just start coming in September when my friend asked me? We're going to give them till the end of January. So they got to start a streak because I believe there's only 4 Wednesdays that were in session in January. They got to be there all 4 weeks. But they can do it if they want the free shoes. But the points will end on December 18th. Does that all make sense? So the winner will be determined on December 18th. So say you're the winning group, all right? You're the winning group and you brought 2 people for the very first time on December 18th. I'm going to count the points that night. And we're going to declare the winner like it will be based on that night. But we're going to look at that winning group and see how many people within that group have not attended 5 times yet. And we're going to reach out to those people and say, hey, if you want the shoes, you got to come back in January X amount of times, depending on how many times they've already been. Make sense? Y'all still with me? Cool. All right. Here's the part that I was worried I was going to forget earlier, so I kind of said it earlier. Let me say it again. I don't care. Small groups are going to be a little bit chaotic this fall. We are well aware of that. Right now, they're mostly based on grade. That's never been a hard line, but it's been kind of naturally based on grade, okay? So I don't care what class you're in and what class you invite. Make sure they register under your small group, okay? Everyone got that? I need nodding heads on this one, because this is where I get the boo-hoos from the people not paying attention. They're going to be like, what? You didn't pay attention. That's your fault. All right? So if you bring a friend and they sign up with their grade small group, you just gave away points, okay? You guys tracking with me? If you're a senior and you got a freshman friend, bring them to the senior small group. If you are a junior and you bring a sophomore friend, bring them to the junior group. If you don't do that, this is your warning. That was your chance. Those points are going to go to the small group that they are registered in. Am I saying all that right so far? Yes. No middle school. That should be a rule for life. No middle school, right? Freshmen, am I right? No middle school up in this place. This is for grown folk. No middle school. Yep, no middle school. No middle school. I got it. All right. What else am I forgetting from check-in standpoint? How will they get into the right small group? Is all that good? Cool. All right. So check-in. If you're not in the system yet, you need to be in the system, okay? Here's how you know if you're in the system. Go check in. And I'm saying this, stop me if I'm saying this wrong. You have 2 choices to check in. You can either hit the last 4 digits of your phone number, and anyone else matching those 4 digits is going to pop up, and you just have to scroll. It's usually not that many. Mine comes after some random company about piano covers. I don't get it, but anyway. It's not that hard to scroll. If you want to go straight to your name, punch in your whole phone number, all right? And then what's going to come up is their name. You're going to hit their name, and that's it, right? They're checked in. Click their name and check in. All right, if that doesn't work, you're not in the system. Any single Wednesday, if you got problems, there's going to be a help desk right next to check-in. You guys can sort it all out. You cannot cheat the system. Our data is amazing. You're like, I grew up in this church, but I'm going to pretend like I'm a visitor. No, you're not. You're already in the system, all right? So anyone that's in the system is going to count as a regular. This is about reaching new people. And here's the deal. I have thought long and hard about how to break this system, but I get it. You guys are much more evil than I am, and I'm sure there's someone that's already figured out a way to break this system. And all I'm going to say is this: diarrhea on your life for every day that you breathe if you cheat this system. Amen. You laugh. You won't be. All right. Cool. I think I covered everything. All right? Here's the deal. Let me kind of wrap it up with this. Matthew chapter 4, verse 19. This is what Jesus says. His context was some of the first people he invited to follow him were fishermen. And he says, hey, if you come follow me, I'm going to teach you how to fish for people. If you follow me. So in other words, he's going to say, hey, if you pursue me, I'm going to take everything great about you and help that reach more people. If you're good at sports, I'm going to use that influence to influence your sports team. If you're smart, or if you've got leverage, I'm going to use your brains and your power to think strategically on how to bring people. If you're just good looking, God bless you. God's going to use those good looks to be like, hey, I'm good looking, just follow me, come on. That's fine. Whatever it takes. And let me give a special shout out to all the private school, small group, homeschool, online school, people that don't care. You started your own school, whatever. All right? We talk about this a lot. Like, you have a super important role. We have an inviting culture. Thank you, Greg. We have an inviting culture. We love people. We welcome anyone in the family. Can I get an amen in the house? Thank you, Landon. All right? So here's the deal. You get to be vision carriers. You should be the friendliest, stinking people in this place. Like, you don't understand the opportunity that is before you. If you will choose in your heart to be the friendliest person in this place, you are going to gain more friends than you deserve. I don't know if that's the nicest way to say that, but it's true. You will get more friends than you deserve if you will choose to be friendly to people. Let's practice. Smile. Look, you're halfway there. Some of you guys didn't do that all night. Some of you guys still didn't. Where's he at? All right, he smiled. Someone wasn't smiling at me all night trying to be a punk. He smiled, though. All right. Here's what we're going to do to kind of seal up this moment. You guys excited for this, for real? Like, I'm excited about this. I'm excited. I'm excited for the day when we get to when this place is full and I get to wheel out a crate of amazing, not just like cheap shoes. We're not getting like off-brand. I'm talking like $200 pair of sneakers for everyone in a small group, all right? So I want you guys to be thinking, okay? Here's some things I want you to be praying about. I want you to be praying for your friends. I want you to be praying for your schools, your families. I want you to be praying for other people. Like, yes, this is a competition, but we need to be praying for every group. Like, I want this to come down to, like, the last person who brought one more first-time guest than any other group. Like, I want it to be neck and neck all the way through all the groups, okay? I want you to be praying for that. I want you to be thinking strategically. I want you to be praying for us. Can I just be fully honest? This takes a lot of brain space that I don't inherently have. Okay, this is data and numbers and details, not my strong suit, okay? But we care enough to track every single thing that goes on. Pray for more leaders. Pray for our leaders that they would gain an influence and ability to lead and to shepherd you guys. I want you to be praying for your friends. I want you to be praying that this would make an impact, that we would get favor with people. And so what we're going to kind of seal up this moment is all across the front, we've got some, I think it's called craft paper or crepe paper. We got some brown paper in the form of a roll spread out across this entire stage. And I want us to kind of do a faith statement, okay? From time to time, we call this altar calls. If you're newer with us, a lot of times we're going to talk about stuff more profound than tennis shoes, I promise. We're going to talk about some pretty serious and amazing stuff I'm excited about this fall and the serious content that we've got coming up. But we're going to take a moment and we're going to envision the people that we want to see fill this place, okay? So let me give you a few parameters. Put first name and maybe last initial, okay? This is more about like the practice of it than like the accuracy of it, okay? So the last thing I would want is someone to feel like weird, like, or judged as a sinner or what. I just don't want anyone to feel weird if they ever saw their name up on this place, okay? So just first name and maybe last initial of the people that you're believing are that you're gonna be able to influence and invite to the Capitol. You can write one name, you can write a ton of names. Maybe you're in this place and you're just like, man, I don't have friends. You just write a declarative statement, I will be the friendliest person in this place, and just write it on there. Maybe it's you. Like, I know tonight was a weird like vision casting night, but I realize someone might be in this place and you're broken and hurting. Maybe you've never asked Jesus into your heart, or maybe you've fallen way away and you need to make a fresh commitment. If that's you, I want to encourage you as a sign of coming to Jesus, just write your name. I just want you to write your name as a way of saying, like, I'm in this. Like, I need to be a part of this year. I haven't been consistent. I'm not a regular. I've been on the outside. I haven't been in the collective we. I've been a cancer to the body. And, like, that's your way of saying, like, I'm the first name on that list. I need to be brought into this family. I need to accept my place and understand that I belong, okay? So the band's going to kind of go back into a song. That's going to be the altar call. There's going to be no official dismissal. I want to encourage some of you guys, maybe gather up with some other friends in your small group, maybe from your school or sports teams, and maybe just even start praying by name for some of your friends. I want you to be thinking about what it's going to be on that day when you're that group that wins that prize, okay? We've talked about like how cool it would be if like you brought 5 friends and you all decide to get the same exact pair of amazing shoes, just as a way to remember that moment. Like everyone's going to be seeing you at school the next day and be like what's this, y'all a new like hip hop group or something, like, but just to like remember that moment, okay, of like that's a trophy you get to wear for as long as your feet stay that size. All right, so if you're still in a growth spurt, maybe order a few sizes up. I don't care. Like maybe you want a pair of shoes for your little siblings. I don't care. I'm gonna give you shoes. What you do with them, that's up to you. But I want you to envision some cool things that you can do with this. So maybe you say like, man, like if I could reach one person, we get the same pair of shoes, just as a way of saying like, we are in this together. We're gonna remember fall 2019 for the rest of our lives as the semester that everything changed for the good. Like I'm telling you guys, and we're gonna talk about this every single week, okay? Every single week we're gonna explain this so they don't feel manipulated and abused. And we're gonna say like, hey, you're here week 1, but you can get in on this. Because here's the thing, there's no requirements for how qualified you have to be to tell people that God is amazing. How many of you guys, God has done something cool in your life? All right? If that's you, I want you to turn to someone around you and just say, God has done some amazing stuff in my life. Cool. That was awesome. Congratulations. You have now been all ordained as evangelists and preachers. You just did everything you need to know, okay? Like that's it. It's nothing more complicated than that. It's sharing what God's doing in your life with other people. And now I have incentivized you. I have motivated you to good works and to love people and to not neglect meeting together as the family like some people do, because God is coming back. Like God is coming back for his church. This semester, these shoes, these Sharpies have eternal divine significance attached to them. This is not just playing games. This is souls on the line. I know it's ridiculously cheesy to offer you souls of shoes for souls in heaven, but I want to see souls in heaven.